can't ask questions. So thank you guys for joining us tonight on the Business of Coaching call. This is not something I've ever done before. Usually we do a couple of different kinds of things. We do sneak peeks, which, we ran one of those earlier this week or earlier this month. And then we also usually do coaching call, like coach opportunity calls that are for people that genuinely know nothing about this business. And so what I really wanted was to be able to introduce coaching to people that maybe have heard about it in the past but don't really understand what it is. And then also for those in our boot camps, I know there were several who could not hop on tonight because this is bedtime for a lot of East Coast people for their babies, but who have been in the boot camps and they get it and they've seen it, but they don't understand how our team has built the businesses we have or the income that we have or how to monetize this at all. They really don't understand that. So I wanted to create this call to show you guys exactly what it is that I did back in 2014 and then how that has progressively changed into what it is now. And so I have a little slide show if I can share my screen here. Okay, let's see if I can um, pull this up. Okay. There's just a little PDF thing just to keep us on track because I can be a wanderer when it comes to stuff like this. So this is mostly for me, not for you guys, but also because cute PowerPoints, right? Okay. So I just wanted to introduce myself a little bit to you guys in case you don't know who I am. I'm Danielle Porter. I'm the founder of Team Nourished. I started coaching November the 9th, 2014. So that's almost 7 years ago, which is kind of insane. And when I say I signed up to coach at that point, I really was not interested in building a business. I genuinely I had started, it was May 1st, 2014. I was right postpartum after my daughter. She's born, like we were talking about, February 10th. And I was in the throes of newborn life, and I had a toddler at the time. My husband was, the Army has a program called Green to Gold. And so you get out of like regular duty active military and you go and your military service time is continued in a college setting. So he was literally a college student. We were a one income family. I had started my own lifestyle changes and working with Beachbody programs. My friend had introduced me to an online boot camp. At the time, they weren't called boot camps. Hers was called she called it a clean eating group or a clean eating challenge group, maybe was what she called it. I don't know. But a lot of us were doing T25, which if you're unfamiliar with some of the Beachbody programs, that's a 25-minute, 10-week program with Shaun T. Absolutely loved it. Still one of my favorite programs to this day. I think I just have like a soul connection with that program because my body changed so much during that time. I changed so much during that time. During those 10 weeks, I lost 35 pounds. And then, we were transitioning from being at the college campus to going back into regular active duty military service. So we moved during that time. And so right after we moved, just sat down with my husband. I was getting Shakeology. He was drinking Shakeology. He was doing P90X3, which is a 30-minute version of P90X, if you're familiar with that program with Tony Horton. And we just he was like, you might as well get a discount, right? So I signed up to get a discount. I was already using Shakeology every day. I had already lost a little over 35 pounds at that point in time. But I really began to see that this was more than just a clean eating challenge group. My fire had been ignited at that point. Felt very passionate about nutrition. I felt very passionate about sharing that with other people. I went back and got my master's degree in nutrition because I was so on fire for it. I had a blog. I was, preparing myself to start a private practice nutrition counseling business. And during that time, I really felt very convicted that I should not be putting my family in a ton of debt to go into a brick and mortar counseling service in Clarksville, Tennessee. um, that as a military spouse, I knew would not be a permanent thing, right? Like as a military spouse, we move every 3 to 6 years. I knew that I would not be able to be a permanent establishment there. And so I really needed a transferable career as a military spouse. And so that all kind of happened. And again, I say this all started November 9th, 2014. That's literally when my coach account was opened. I did not sell things. I did not add people to the boot camp at that time. I probably started adding like 1 or 2 people at a time, but I never asked anybody to do this with me. I never posted on social media. I never shared my results with anybody. I didn't share on social media about what I was doing at all. My social media was literally just a scrapbook of, our life and my children's life, and it had nothing to do. I was very uncomfortable being open with my story. Very, very uncomfortable with that. And so I didn't want to share anything like that. And the people that it signed up with me were literally people who were in my real life that I was encountering every day, that were seeing the weight loss, were seeing the energy changes. I just felt better. I was a better human being. They knew me, let's say like November 2013, and they met me, or they, saw me evolve to November 2014, and they're like, "What are you doing? I want to be a part of that." So I signed them up. Again, I was not building a business at that time. And I spent about 2 years doing that, caught a little momentum here and there, helped a couple of people each month. There was nothing really growing. I literally was just paying forward the experience that I had. And I kind of want to stop right there and say, I would say probably 75 to 80% of my team is comprised of people that's all they want to do. They literally want to get a discount on their product, and maybe sometimes share it with a neighbor who's like, "Yeah, girl, that sounds fun. I want to do that program too." They're not posting on social media regularly. They're not connecting and building relationships and building a business. And that's totally fine. We are set up. My team is very well equipped and set up to support that kind of interest and time investment in this. And we'll go into how much time this takes and yada yada yada. But I did want to like make sure we stop and say that there are different levels of coaching, and Beachbody doesn't designate any specific level. We as coaches just kind of understand that not everybody wants all the same things. Everybody has different goals with this. So, anyways, but I knew even at that time that God was really like digging at me. There was an itch that like I just couldn't scratch, couldn't figure it out, couldn't figure out where I was unfulfilled. And that during that 2 year period, that's kind of where that stuff manifested, because I was very unfulfilled. I was very bitter. I was, a mom with an active duty husband, or an active duty Army husband who was gone all the time. I was very resentful of him leaving all the time to go to work. I mean, to be very honest, I spent from 15 until I had my first child at 28 working. I've always worked. I don't know how to not work. I like literally just do all the things. And so then being home with my kids, I expected instant fulfillment out of that. I expected to have this like indwelling sense of purpose, that now I had these two adorable little babies that my whole life should be centered around. And I didn't feel that way. And I still don't feel that way. I love them. They are absolutely a gift to me. I am so grateful to be their mom, but they don't fulfill the role that I feel like God created me for. And coaching does. Having an impact outside of motherhood became a really big part of my story. And and really, it wasn't coaching that fulfilled me. My fulfillment does not come from coaching. Coaching unlocked all of the internal changes that happened in me that have led to fulfillment. And so that comes from, and we'll talk about this in just a second, but some of the key things that we focus on our team, those are the things that help me realize my fulfillment. But coaching was absolutely the door that unlocked, that the key that unlocked that door for me. And I found just through my last almost 7 years of coaching that that's a very similar story to a lot of the girls on my team. That it's not that necessarily the coaching was the fulfillment, but coaching unlocked that door. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. And I wanted to share with you the goals for my business now. They were not the goals of my business when I started this. The goals of my business when I started this were literally to get a 25% discount and maybe sometimes get my bag of Shakeology that I was already drinking paid off via commissions. That was literally all I wanted to do. Like I said, we were a one income family, and it would be nice not to have to pay for that out of our grocery budget. Like that's literally where I was in probably 2014 to 2016 or 17. Then things started to shift, things started to change. I began to realize the massive potential that this business had. I realized that my degree was so well matched with this that I could really open myself up to such a bigger, broader audience with my message that of, fulfillment and health and wellness and self-care and motherhood and all of that, that all of that was so much bigger than I ever expected it to be. So now my goals have shifted, and I wanted to share those with you guys. My goals now are really centered around giving my husband the option to retire from the Army when he's able to, and not just take a job because he has to. If any of you guys, I don't know who all's on here, has any, military spouse experience, but that there's a big exit of the military is a big stress point for a lot of those guys because they go from having a pretty secure paycheck to like, oh my God, do I go back to work? Like, what do I do? And so I just want to give him options. I don't want to retire him because he loves being in the military, but like I want him to have the option of that if he so chooses. I also really want to lead a team of passionate women who are focused on spreading health and wellness across the world. We're an international company, and my goal for this year is to really expand our team internationally into Canada and Guam and Puerto Rico and the UK and really France too, and just really start expanding the borders of our team. And then also, I'm a Christian. I love Jesus, and I really am on a mission to spread the gospel using my platform. And so I feel like God has given me this platform, and so I get to spread the gospel through that platform. And so those are my little goals. Um, the 4 vital behaviors of a coach, and this is kind of where I want to start with the coaching stuff. Many of you guys who are watching this, if you're in a boot camp, you already get it. Like you don't call them the 4 vital behaviors. You don't know that they exist, but this is what we do, right? We are proof the product works, meaning we do the workouts, we drink the shakes, we are healthy, we live healthy. Doesn't mean we're perfect. I still have weight to lose to get to my goal weight. I work on myself every single day. It has nothing to do with being at your ideal. It just means that you are engaged in the group and that you're doing the things right on a daily basis. Because I really feel very strongly against the fact that we are not salespeople. We are a service-based industry, but you can't really serve people with the tools that we have if you don't use the tools that we have. Like it's really hard to tell somebody, oh my gosh, you should be in my online boot camp and you should drink this shake. And they're like, really, what does it taste like? And you're like, I don't know. I don't really drink it. I just sell it. I mean, I think of those guys at GNC, right? You go to GNC and they act like they're all knowledgeable. They have not touched a single bit of that to their mouth. They don't know what it tastes like. They may have tasted this much of it one time when the sales rep came by. Like we are not product salespeople. We are not a virtual GNC. We have really high quality nutrition products, but we're not a virtual GNC. That's not what we exist for. And so just being proof that the products work is one of our vital behaviors. And that comes from being in the boot camp. Like I said, many of you watching are actual people in the boot camps every week and, every month. And so you know what that looks like. Personal development is also another really, really big one on our team because as much as the external transformation is important, your internal transformation is even more vital because you will never be able to be content with your external transformation if your internal transformation isn't happening at the same time. And so how does that happen? It happens through books, through podcasts, through fellowship one-on-one on our team call or in group settings in our team call, one-on-one with your coach or me or whoever. All of that personal development happens so that you can really glow from the inside out because that's really what we want. I don't want a bunch of like super buff girls that have no depth on my team, right? Like I want us to be like internal glowy, like little glow worms that just when people are around us, they're like, oh my gosh, you guys are so happy and so full of joy and so energetic. And while some of that absolutely comes from a workout and by fueling your body well, it also comes from fueling your mind well. The third vital behavior that we talk about all the time on our team is connecting, engaging, and inviting. And that's how we build the business. That's where your business begins to blossom. That's where you're able to, like I said, get your Shakeology paid for every month or build a multi-million dollar business, whatever level of that you want to do. That typically comes from engaging, connecting, and inviting. And then recognition, a big, huge, massive part of our team is recognizing every small victory. Because I am a really big believer in not waiting until you hit your goal to celebrate. I think you should absolutely celebrate when you hit your goal. That's really great. But if you like clinch and hold on to that's the only thing we're going to celebrate is when I finally hit 50 pounds down, or when I finally help 12 people, or when I finally make $1 million, you're going to realize you're going to hit that goal and it does nothing for you. You might cheer a little bit like, yay, look at me, I did that. But then the glow fades. And so we are really big into celebrating all the victories all the time, all the days. So that's a big part of our mission too, and helping other people. Okay. And then just moving on quickly to how we earn income. Like I said, this is really the secret sauce of what we do. But I want to emphasize that we are a business and we're not a nonprofit. I was talking to a girl on Instagram several days ago and she was like, "Well, I totally get it. I just want to help people, like I just want to help people." And I'm like, "I get it. Your dentist also feels very passionate about teeth, but your dentist also charges money for his services, right? We are the same thing. If we're a service-based industry, there has to be a point of sale. And so I know a lot of people, that's like their number one thing is like, I don't want to sell anything. I literally just want to help people and encourage people. And that's amazing. And I also want to help people and encourage people. But what I found is that those that don't invest in whatever it is they want to do, whether that's health and fitness or their face washing routine, or I don't know, their lawn. I'm like looking out at the grass right now. Like if I didn't buy a mower, my lawn isn't getting mowed. I mean, yes, I have scissors and yes, I could go trim it, but like you have to invest in something to make it what you want it to be. And so that's, I talk to people all the time who want to get into the boot camp and they're like, well, but I don't want to pay for anything. And I'm like, interesting. Have you ever gone to a gym and been like, man, I really want to take that spin class? Like, I know that would be the ticket for me. And they're like, okay, awesome. Let's get you signed up. And you're like, oh, ugh, no, actually, I just want to do it for free. Like, we would never do that. I would never walk into like TJ Maxx and be like, but I want all of this for free. But why, when we decide we're going to start a business, do we start questioning our ability to expect income from what we're doing? All of a sudden, when it's us, we think we should have to give it away, or other people think we should have to give it away. And I'm like, no, we're a business, and I teach you how to run a business like a real business owner. So I do want you to understand how we earn income. And so there are two ways to build income with this opportunity. So retail commission is number one. So if you've been in a boot camp, you already know I sent you, or your coach sent you, an enrollment card and you paid with your credit card or with your debit card. You paid for that. We get a percentage of that. As the coach, we get a percentage of that. And that's how we're compensated for running the groups. Like I said, we're not a like product link dropper. You're not buying collagen and then that's the last time you ever hear from me. Like that begins when you start having the more intimate relationship. That's where the results begin, is when we're able to do that. Now, granted, there are products that are pretty much commission based. Like if somebody just wants energized, the mom crack that I talk about on my social media. Like if that's all they want, then that's great. That is 100% a point of product sale. I will gladly sell you that. And I'm glad to get the 25% commission. But really where the results and the magic happen are in the boot camp. And that comes with the enrollment card. And that's the like bundle pack that gives you everything you need to get started. It also has a 30-day money back guarantee. So it's how this is the way I explain it to my customers, is that that's how I can guarantee your results. If you're piecemealing things from here, there, and everywhere, I can't guarantee you're going to get the results from my boot camp. If you get the bundle pack, I can, and you use it. Like obviously, you can't just buy it and sit it on your counter and be like, Danielle, you promised I would lose 15 pounds if I bought this. I'm like, well, sister, you gotta open the box, kind of thing, you know. You gotta at least drink a shake and do a workout to get the wheel moving. But that's how the 30-day money back guarantee is foolproof, because like literally that's how I can guarantee your results. And so anyways, we earn 25 to 40% commissions on the products or the enrollment kits that people buy. That's the number one way. That's the beginning way that we earn income. If you signed up last week and you helped your neighbor get started in our boot camp too, that's how you earned income. You earned a percentage of that or a flat rate, depending on what it was that she signed up with. But that's how you get paid for your time showing up in the boot camp. And in the boot camp, I'm going to show you guys mine. I know there's Carrie and Paige on this call, and I think I saw Amy pop on too. I see you down there. You guys, every one of us runs it just a little bit differently. That's kind of the cool thing about this coaching gig, is that we can all infuse our own personalities and our own design on coaching in our boot camps. Not everybody calls them boot camps. One of my other coaching friends, hers is a wellness studio. Good for you. Wellness studio does nothing for me. Boot camp makes me feel like I'm going to get in there and do something, you know. But for her audience and her demographic, wellness studio fits her. Great. Whatever you want to call it, you can call it whatever you want. I think at one point I used to call it home base. This is where you come back to. You're always running back to home base, like whatever you want to call it. But that is the primary way that we earn income. Now, the secondary way that we earn income, and as if you desire to grow a business, this is where it takes it out of that realm of I'm just trying to earn, you know, a little bit of extra money so that I can go get a pedicure once a month. That is typically commission based, right? If you're like, I want to out earn my husband's full-time paycheck, which was something that, you know, insert Beachbody income disclaimer, but that involves building a team. That's something that I have found has been the most fun aspect of this, because that means I'm not just doing it myself. So the other thing that I kind of want to pause and insert into this is that typically if you're hanging out in the retail commission area of income in this, you can coach the other person. Like say you sign up your neighbor Shauna, she comes to you and she's like, hey, I really want to do that boot camp thing you're doing. And you're like, awesome. I don't know how to do that. I'm not really a coach. Like then you would reach out to me or Carrie or Paige or Amy or whoever. And you're like, hey, my neighbor Shauna wants to get in on this. How do I do that? We teach you how to do that. But you aren't really expected to begin your own boot camps, right? That's more of what I would call like bringing people into the fold. You're just bringing people into the boot camp that already exists. You're not expected to create your own boot camp. You're not expected to run calls like this. There's no real expectation other than the fact that you're not just going to abandon your friend, right? Even if it's 3 friends, even if it's 5 friends, you're not just going to be like, all right, Danielle, like it's Danielle's nutrition babysitting service, but like you're in there encouraging your friend. And I'll show you kind of what that looks like here in a minute. But I wanted to make sure that that is understood, because again, I think that freaks people out when they're like, oh God, I don't want to coach anybody. I don't have any qualifications. I haven't even done a boot camp. How could I ever invite someone else to do this? You're not expected to know what you're doing. You're brand new, you know? Once you start building a team, that's really where the expectation set changes. And that means that you're earning a weekly or in quarterly profit sharing, which is basically like, I don't know, the way to explain it is for every, well, it says it here, for every $300 in sales your team has, you get a weekly paycheck for that. So it's Beachbody's way of matching your efforts and income. If your efforts are really high and up here, most likely your weekly bonus is going to be high and up here. If your effort is down here and you're building a team very slowly and it just happens to be this like organic, like whoever joins me whenever they join, your weekly bonus is probably going to be down here, and that's okay. It just all fluctuates with how much effort you're wanting to put into this and how much time too. So anyways, that's how the secondary part of this income comes into play. And like I mentioned, as you do this with other people, that's where it becomes fun. That's where, like, you see this picture down here. I chose this one because this is a lot of fun. This is my coach right here. I mean, it's really dark, but this is my coach, Jackie, and there's me. And I think this is Carrie right here, and this is Amanda. So my coach, Jackie, has me, and she also, I think there's a couple other people in here that are hers. But then I have Carrie and Amanda in this picture, and we all get to do this together. And it's life is just more fun when you're doing it with other people. And so that's kind of where I've found that I really love about this is that I get to do it with other people. I'm not on my own. That was something that when I created, I'll tell this quick little story. This was back before my son Davin, who just turned 9, was even born. I sold Tupperware. And it was it was my friend's mom. And she was like, oh my gosh, you should totally do this. You use Tupperware. You should sell Tupperware. That's fine. Nothing wrong with it. That wasn't like what was lighting my fire, like selling bowls and stuff to people is not what, did it for me. But what I remember a lot about that experience, and this is nothing negative about Tupperware at all. I'm sure every team in Tupperware is very different, but I felt very alone in it. I never felt like I had a team. I never felt like I mean, I'm sure I could ask questions to Barb, the woman who signed me up, but I never really felt like there was a team of people helping me grow my business. It was like, here's this training pamphlet on how to host a party in someone else's home. And that's what I got out of it. This is not like that. This is completely different. Every week we have training calls. We have a team training website. I work one-on-one with my coaches to teach them how to grow a business. And so you never really feel alone in this. Okay. I wanted to go over the time commitment because that's like the second question that I get most often is like the money, the income part, and then the time part. The time is really what you want out of it. I, as your coach, or like I said, Carrie, Amanda, Paige, Amy, whoever invited you to this call or gave you this recording, they are going to help you match your goal with how much time that's going to daily and monthly and whatever it's going to take you to get there. Because what I see people do is, all right, Danielle, I'm in, I'm ready, I'm hyped up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make $10,000 this month, I am ready. Awesome. Let's talk about how much time every day you're going to be devoting to your business. 30 minutes, girl. I got 30 minutes. And I'm like, so you're going to work 30 minutes a day and you're going to make $10,000 in a month. Like, I'm not really good at math, but that's 15 hours in a month that you worked. And I don't know what 1,000 divided by 15 is, but that's a whole lot of money an hour you think is going to happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's improbable. So we help you figure out how much time you have every day and what the goal, and it doesn't mean that you can't make $10,000 in a month. It just means it might take you a little bit longer to build that momentum up. But so we help you figure out how much time to invest in that. What I typically ask of my new coaches is that you give me 30 minutes to an hour a day with this. That does not have to all be at one time. I think, when I was a brand new baby coach growing this, I had a baby and a toddler, and there was no way that I could find an hour until they both passed out in the evening. There was literally no way. And then I'm exhausted and I don't want to do anything. But what I could do was 15 minutes at a time. What I could do was during their nap time, take half an hour. What I could do is they're sitting down, they're satisfied with a craft. I could take 10 minutes here and there. And so you can work in the pockets and the cracks and the crevices of your time, or you can devote solid chunks of time. It's all in what your lifestyle allows you to do. Now, both of my children are in school. Now, this is my full-time job. So now I have calls that I schedule with my coaches for mentorship. And I will tell you this, and I don't know if I should tell you this or not. I feel like I'm spilling the trade secret, but like I still don't work full time and I still make, and I say full time, meaning what is that, 40 hours a week? I don't even know what full time is anymore. 40 hours a week. I do not work my business 40 hours a week. I mean, maybe solid, straight up, this is only business and no scrolling social media whatsoever. Probably 25 to 30 hours a week. And that includes me doing one-on-one calls, me hosting calls like this, doing team trainings, building out website stuff, like all of that kind of stuff. And I've been able to build a more than full-time income with that type of commitment. Now, granted, it didn't happen overnight, but I want you to understand that there are all levels of this in there. And it really just happens. It can fit around your lifestyle, which is really what I wanted to share with you. The other thing is that I found that kind of sets us apart from a lot of other things is that we tell you what exactly to do with your time. Hi guys. We tell you exactly, I know he's like, oh, don't look at me. We tell you exactly what to do with your time. I think that's the number one thing that trips people up is they're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. I don't know what to do. Like, what do I do with my hands? We give you exactly what to do. This is literally the exact sheet. I just took a screenshot of it and plugged it into my little PDF here. This is exactly what you do every single day to build your business. I've always traditionally told people an hour a day, but in my opinion, in the beginning, your hour a day also includes the time it took you to do your workout and maybe make a social media post about it. So all of this stuff at your beginning level should take you like 30 minutes a day. This stuff continues to come in, and then, personal development, I don't really count that as business time because I would do that whether I was a coach or not anymore. Like that's me listening to an audiobook while I take a shower. That's me listening to an audiobook in the car. That's me before I go to bed, opening up the book that's by my bed and reading. Like I don't consider that business time. You can build that into your business time if you feel like that's something you need to keep track of. Like this right here says, get people results 30 minutes a day. It does not take me 30 minutes a day to contribute to my group. That's me logging my accountability and encouraging other people in that, and then recognizing achievement. I mean, it literally takes me no more than 10 minutes to do that. So this is the bulk of what you concentrate on during your business hours that you're working. So I wanted to share that with you guys so that you understand that you get a proven system that works. This is the same people that use this system are the same people that are number one in the company, who are making multi-million dollars with coaching. The same people who are, doing this part-time. I mean, Carrie works full-time as a PE teacher. This is the same system she uses. It's just the amount of time that's devoted to each individual thing is different based on the goals and where you are in your life. So like I said, I just wanted to share that with you guys because that is part of what you get when you become a coach on our team. And then just how to get started. Like I said, many of you watching the recording, maybe you are already a coach and you're a discount coach and you want to, make a more financial impact in your family this year. This is how you get started with that. This is the current program that's going on. But so this has the 9-week control freak. If you follow many of us on social media, this is the workout that we're doing right now. There are also other options too. I just wanted to show one of the starter kits in case you are not already set up. These are the things that you get. And I kind of want to pause here too. And in case you did not already know this, you don't hold inventory in this. It's not like, you have to buy 10 bags of Shakeology and invest how much ever money, $1,000, and then you're out there hustling bags of Shakeology on the corner. You know, that the only thing that you're purchasing is what Carrie's laughing. Like, can you see me like dealing? I mean, I will say I have sold Energized straight up out of my car, and I call it mom crack. And I'm like, this is skirting the line here. Like, I might be like mixing some of my former boyfriends in high school's pastimes with, I probably shouldn't tell that story. But anyways, we won't discuss Danielle's sordid past in high school. But you're not selling anything direct to the person. You send them, and I'm going to show you exactly how it is tonight, since we have a few minutes. I'm going to show you exactly what we do to send somebody a link to purchase, and then Beachbody pays you out of that. They don't pay you directly, but anyways, you get 1 year access to BOD. You get both nutrition programs. You get a 30-day supply of Shakeology, or the Performance, which is the pre-workout and post-workout. You get the shaker cup, the portion containers, and then with this kit right here, you also get the control track and the ball and the resistance bands and all the equipment for this program. You also get, when you enroll as a coach, if you are not already a coach, you get a business website already set up for you, which is freaking phenomenal. Because if you've ever tried to set up a website, you know it sucks. So I really like that they provide that for you. You get team trainings weekly, and then you also get a self-paced team training program. Coach mentorship, one-on-one weekly calls, and then quarterly and yearly events that Beachbody hosts, which are really, really fun. Those are actually part of my favorite thing that we have and do. Before I open it up for questions, I did want to show you guys the boot camp, my boot camp. Like I said, I can't show you anybody else's but mine, but this is what mine looks like right now. So every night, there is an accountability post that goes up. And so all of my boot campers log their accountability posts, and I check in, and that's how I coach them daily. Sometimes that coaching is, oh my God, Holly, your day looks amazing. Great job. Keep going. Sometimes that coaching is a little more in depth. I had a conversation with a girl yesterday about the amount of alcohol she's having, and she was complaining about seeing results. And we're talking about, well, I'm looking at the accountability, and you had a flight of beer and 2 mojitos. Nothing wrong with any of that, but like, are you going to see the results that you want to see with that kind of alcohol intake? Or I'm really glad Jamie's not on this call, but had a girl in my boot camp at one point who she wasn't seeing the results. And actually, I don't even think she's in the boot camp anymore, but she wasn't seeing the results she wanted, very discouraged. And I was like, all right. So I pulled all of her accountability for 2 straight weeks. And in those 2 straight weeks, there was one 5-day period where she had pizza 4 times in 5 days. There's nothing wrong with pizza, but you don't get to be discouraged when you don't see weight loss results if you've had pizza 4 times in 5 days. Like, so that's the purpose of this type of coaching, is so that I call it spot coaching, but I'm able to keep track of each individual person's accountability. The other thing that happens in here is a daily post that is encouraging or inspiring or educational or something, just so that when my girls search social media or, scan social media, they're not just bogged down with all the crap that's out there. I want them to see positive and encouraging and uplifting messages. And so things that call them to think about stuff. And so this goes up, something in that variety goes up every day. The other thing that you get in I guess it's up here, in our boot camp is meal plans. So I created meal plans for all of us. And then I know Carrie uses a different system for meal plans. This is mine in my boot camp. So if you're already a boot camper in my boot camp, you know that this exists, but just in case you aren't, it comes with a meal plan that shows you exactly what to have: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, a grocery list, pulls out new recipes so you can check those out, snack options. And then every week there are also, sorry if it's like giving you a headache, me scrolling, because I know it's like my eyes go crazy sometimes. But I wanted to get down to the part one day. of sweets and treats. So every week there's also 2 sweets and treats recipes so that you don't feel deprived, so that you're getting some healthy snack ideas each week as well. The other really cool thing about this is that we also have this exact same system on an external app. So on your phone, on Beachbody On Demand, there's a tab within that called BOD Groups. And you can click on that and it literally looks exactly like the one that I just showed you here. It's just not on Facebook. We've had a lot of people in the last couple of months that don't want to be a part of social media at all, just because of the state of the world and all of the grouchiness and all of that. And so we wanted to provide them with an option for being off of social media. And so thankfully, Beachbody is also 100% down for that and created a really amazing app where they're able to log in and do the exact same things. The last thing I wanted to show you guys is how easy it is to help someone enroll. Because I know some of you, like I said, are in the boot camp. You know what you are already in this. And so maybe you just don't know how to sign somebody up. So it's really easy. You just sign in to the website. We have our coach office right here. Once it clicks over. And then you literally go to share a cart and this is how you enroll someone. So like I said, if you are not a part of this and you're like, yes, I definitely want to be a part of this, when my computer decides to catch up with itself, it's literally this easy. I type in dad at yahoo.com, dad. Oh, apparently that's a person. Okay. I thought I was making up an email, but Yusef, I'm just going to show you. Poor Yusef. He probably gets this a lot. But basically, all the enrollment packages are here. We pick the enrollment package that we've discussed with the person. I send it over to them. It's literally that easy. I don't have, like, I thought that when they created that, that was like the best thing ever, because I'm not having, I remember when, like I said, when I did Tupperware, like I would have to write out these things on carbon copies and give them receipts and all of the things and handle money and deal with that. And this is literally just sending somebody a link. It's incredibly easy. Get them signed up, and then I just add them into the boot camp and send them a welcome email. So very, very easy. And we always, whoever your coach is, always helps you through your first couple anyway, just because no matter how easy it can be, the first time you do it, it's always a little anxiety producing, because you're like, I just want to do it right. And I want to make sure she gets what she needs and all of that. So, that's pretty much it, you guys. I'm going to check the chat. Okay. I should have done shake@yourbooty.com. Yeah. See, I need to own that URL because I've used that several times. Okay. So anyways, and I did not see anybody else in the waiting room, Carrie. So just in case you were talking about somebody else. I don't know. We're a pretty small group. So if you have a question, you can take yourself off mute and ask. I'm a pretty open book, and I'll maybe to a fault. So if you have a question, I'm happy to answer it, even if it may not be the answer you like. Paige and Carrie, did I miss anything? Was there anything that you guys felt like I needed to talk more about? I don't want to like overwhelm people. No? Bailey and Jennifer, did you, or 2 Jennifers? Oh,
Hi.
Amy. Hi, Amy.
My daughter's just dying to say hi.
Oh, thank you. Hi, sweet girl.
We're done now.
Okay. Carrie, did you want to say something?
I did have something on my mind, and it's escaped me now, so I don't even know what it was. Squirrel brain.
That's all right. Me too. That's why I do the little slideshow, because I'd be all over the place. I am not good at staying.
Yeah.
Not at all. So Bailey, have you done Beachbody stuff before? Have you done any of the workouts, or are you brand new to this?
Yes, I've done 21 Day Fix. I've done a couple of Insanity workouts, 80 Day Obsession.
Oh, Gosh, go girl.
Hmm.
We're not new to this then. That's awesome. Yeah, so
Just
then-
kind of off and on over the last couple of years.
yeah, that's awesome. And I think a lot of people start there. So it's really cool. What about, I know Jenny Johnson and I have talked a little bit, but Jennifer McAdoo, have you done Beachbody stuff? Are you a challenger already, or where are you in all of this?
Yeah, so Carrie's my coach. I know her through college. What have I guess I completed 10 rounds, the 21 day fix, real time and extreme. And I like got to 50 of morning meltdown 100 and I just couldn't keep going. But I'm doing 9-week control freak right now.
Are you loving it?
Yes, I am. I'm like, I think my body's doing some weird things right now, which is weird because I was doing some MBF before we started, thinking it would like kind of prepare me, but I was also doing the hybrid calendar
Oh yeah.
for December. But yeah, my body's kind of like figuring it out, I think, right now. So that's been interesting.
Yeah. It's definitely a change of pace. I've really enjoyed the program.
Mhm.
I've been really glad it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm such a, like, I was talking to one of my clients today, and it's a male and he's doing the work and it's a 45-minute like functional fitness kind of thing, if you haven't done that one. And he was like, yeah, have you ever done it? Do you want to do it? And I was like, no, I don't. I really like 30 minutes. Like,
Oh, but how can I forget, the first program I did was 80-day obsession. That was
oh,
the very first one, and I did the whole thing through, and I loved it. And now looking back at it, I'm like, how did I wake up at 4:30? Because I'm a teacher too, so I would work out before school. I would like wake up and work out for like an hour. Now I'm like,
I have
What?
no idea how I did it.
I don't even, I did it
Fun.
with you though, Carrie. It was you and Amanda. And remember,
did.
we used to get on the
Because
early.
you still lived in Tennessee, so
Right.
you weren't 5,000 years away.
Exactly. Now I'm 5,000 years and 7 times away. So I'm not getting up when you get up to do your little Zoom group, which I think would be really fun. You and Amy.
You should try it sometime.
I'm
People can't
good.
go to bed.
Yeah.
Sleep. Well, I could have this morning. I was up very 2:30 this morning, so could have hopped on with you guys. That would have been fun. I know, girl. I know it was miserable.
Well, we'll wait for you next time.
Don't. You'll be there for a while.
Riley.
Yeah. Y'all wait. I'll wait for y'all. That's what it is. Or y'all will wait for me when I get up. 7 hours or 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody has any questions, I don't want to keep you guys. I know it's getting late for East Coast people, but thank you guys for taking the time to get on the call. If you're watching the recording, I don't know what I was going to say. I was like, replay and recording. I think we're getting mixed up in my head. If you're watching the recording, just make sure that you reach out. And I know that the coach who shared this with you will reach out to you as well. But don't be afraid to ask questions. I've always been a firm believer in the person that asks the most questions wins the game. So I think that more questions are better, and lack of understanding is typically what holds people back. So be sure that you ask questions and ask what you can see and what you can do, if you are interested in this. And I hope that I will see some of you who are not on our team already on our team soon. And I will see all my other lovely ladies on Thursday night for our team call. So good night, guys.
Bye. Thanks for
Thank
coming.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.